Om. शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरवे श्रीसत्यसाईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। ॐ श्री परमगुरवे श्री शिरडी साईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। ॐ श्री परमेष्टि गुरवे श्री दत्तात्रेय स्वामी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। सद्गुरु चरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। हरिः ॐ। अक्षस्रक्परशुङ्गदेषु कुलिशं पद्मं धनुष्कुण्डिकां दण्डं शक्तिमसिञ्च चर्मजलजं घण्टां सुराभाजनं शूलं पाशसुदर्शने च दधतीं सेवे हस्तैः प्रवालप्रभां सेवे सैरिभमर्दिनीमिह महालक्ष्मीं सरोजस्थितां। ॐ नमश्चण्डिकायै। Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are contemplating on the middle chapter of Devi Mahatyam, and this middle chapter of Devi Mahatyam, we are in the second chapter, which is associated with emergence of Devi from the resolve of all the gods, and that which resolved as this effulgence took the shape of a feminine with the body parts coming from various gods and their respective goddesses, just so that people don't feel left out. And that divine feminine effulgence called Shiva spread all the directions of the universe, and then she was honored with the ornaments and the instruments of all the gods and goddesses, and those being a trident, a discus, a conch, a spear, bow, arrows, thunderbolt, bell, staff, noose, string of beads, and a water pot. Surya fills every single pore of this divine with his own effulgence. Time gave a sword and a spotless shield, and she was adorned with various instruments as well as ornaments and garments. All of this, adorned with all of these, the goddess roared with loud laughter. Again and again, the entire sky was filled with her immeasurable, stupendous roar, and the echo that reverberated, frenzied all the oceans and shook up the earth. The great unity of the innate powers of all the gods became this magnanimous Devi. And looking at her, exclaimed the gods in joy, who was sitting on a lion. And they said, "Victory to you." The sages extolled her, bowing their bodies in salutation. Seeing this, all the three worlds were agitated and shook up. The Asuras, the foes of the gods, they all marshaled their armies and rose up with their lifted weapons. Mahishasura, who saw all this, said, "Ah, kime taditi," which is an exclamation in wrath. What is happening here? Rushed towards the place where the sound came from, accompanied by all of his armies. Yes. Let's now continue with the next slokam. Sadadarsha. Sa dadarsha tato devim vyapta lokatrayan tvisha pada akrantyanata bhuvam kirita ullikhita ambaram. There he saw, sa means he, dadarsha, saw, tato, there, devim. Devim means deva, devi actually means divyati iti devaha or devi. Divyati, div means light. So that light he saw that was spreading, vyapta lokatrayan tvisha, effulgence, the glow from that was spreading all the three worlds. And pada akrantya nata bhuvam, where she put her foot, that place, the earth actually, akrantya, became curved. And the kiritam, the crown that she had, likhita ambaram, and that kiritam that she was wearing scraped the sky. Sadadarsha tato devim.
Sadadarsha tato devim. Sadadarsha tato devim.
Vyapta lokatrayan tvisham.
Vyapta lokatrayan tvisha. Vyapta lokatrayan tvisha.
Padakrantyanata bhuvan.
Padakrantyanata bhuvan. Padakrantyanata bhuvan.
Kiritollikhitambaram.
Kiritollikhitambaram. Kiritollikhitambaram.
Likhita, no, likhita.
Yeah. Likhita, yes.
Not tha, ta,
Yeah.
ta. Sadadarsha tato devim vyapta lokatrayan tvisha padakrantyanata bhuvan kiritollikhitam baram. Likhitambaram, I should have said. One more time I'll chant. Sadadarsha tato devim vyapta lokatrayan tvisha padakrantyanata bhuvan kiritollikhitambaram.
सददर्श ततो
No, you are
देवीं
chanting higher. Sadadarsha tato devim vyaptaloka trayantvisha padakrantyana bhuvan kirito likhitambaram.
सददर्श ततो देवीं व्याप्तलोकत्रयान्त्विषा पादाक्रान्त्यानथ भुवं किरीटोल्लिखिताम्बराम् सददर्श ततो देवीं व्याप्तलोकत्रयान्त्विषा पादाक्रान्त्यानथ भुवं किरीटोल्लिखिताम्बराम्
Shobhita asesha patalam dhanurja nisvanenatam disho bhuja sahasrena samantad vyapya samsthitam. This entire worlds that are underneath the earth. Previously, he only described the earth and the sky. Now he's talking about what about the patalam, the strata below the earth, which are 7 layers below the earth. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala Lokas. So the most bottom one is Patala. And this entire Patalam, Shobhita, was agitated with this vibration of her Dhanurjan Nisvanenatam. The vibration from her bowstring shook up the entire worlds underneath. Disho Bhuja Sahasrena. So for him, it looked like she has an innumerable number of arms. Sahasrena doesn't mean actually 1,000. Sahasra means innumerable, infinite. So that Bhuja, the infinite number of Bhujas, spread all over the directions. Kshobhita Sesha Patalam.
क्षोभिताशेषपातालान् 1 second क्षोभिताशेषपातालान्
Dhanurjanisvanenatam.
धनुर्जानिस्वनेन ताम् धनुर्जानिस्वनेन ताम्
Kshobhita Sesha Patalan Dhanurjanisvanenatam.
क्षोभिताशेषपातालान् धनुर्जानिस्वनेन ताम् क्षोभिताशेषपातालान् धनुर्जानिस्वनेन ताम्
Disho Bhuja Sahasrena.
दिशो भुजसहस्रेण दिशो भुजसहस्रेण
Samantadvyapya samsthitam.
समन्ताद्व्याप्य संस्थिताम् समन्ताद्व्याप्य संस्थिताम्
Shobhita Sesha Patalan Dhanurja Nisvanenatam. Disho Bhuja Sahasrena Samantadvyapya samsthitam.
क्षोभिताशेषपातालान्
One minute, Kana. Why Shobhita is so agitated? Huh? Shobhita, okay. So you don't have to Shobhita. It is ksha only. There is no Mahaprana for ksha. So you're putting another emphasis on the ksha. So kshobhita sesha patalam.
क्षोभिताशेषपातालान् धनुर्ज्या निस्वनेन ताम् दिशो भुजसहस्रेण समन्ताद्व्याप्य संस्थिताम् क्षोभिताशेषपातालान् धनुर्ज्या निस्वनेन ताम् दिशो भुजसहस्रेण समन्ताद्व्याप्य संस्थिताम्
ततः प्रववृते युद्धं तया देवी असुर द्विषाम्. देवी असुर द्विषाम् शस्त्र अस्त्रैः बहुधा मुक्तैः आदीपित दिगंतरम. Then began tatah pravavrute yuddham, a battle between the Devi and the enemies of the gods. Devyasura Dvisham. Devya Suradvisham. So I said Asura Dvisham, it should be Suradvisham. The enemies of the Suras. Weapons were hurled in different directions. Shastra, Astra. Shastra means weapon. Astra means missiles. What's the difference between Shastra and Astra? Shastra is physical weapon. Astra is that which is filled with the power of a mantra. That's the difference between Shastra and Astra. All different types of Shastras and Astras means weapons and missiles that were going in different directions. Muktair, that are released in different directions. Adipita, Dik, Antaram. It illumined all different quarters of the directions. Tatah pravavrite yuddhan.
ततः प्रववृते युद्धं ततः प्रववृते युद्धं
तया देव्यासुरद्विषाम्.
तया देव्यासुरद्विषाम् तया देव्यासुरद्विषाम्
शस्त्रास्त्रैर्बहुधा मुक्तैर्.
शस्त्रास्त्रैर्बहुधा मुक्तैर्
आदीपितदिगन्तरम्.
आदीपितदिगन्तरम्
ततः प्रववृते युद्धं त्वया ततः प्रववृते युद्धं तया देव्यासुरद्विषाम् शस्त्रास्त्रैर्बहुधा मुक्तैरादीपित दिगन्तरम्.
ततः प्रववृते युद्धं तया देव्यासुरद्विषाम् शस्त्रास्त्रैर्बहुधा मुक्तैरादीपितदिगन्तरम् ततः प्रववृते युद्धं तया देव्यासुरद्विषाम् शस्त्रास्त्रैर्बहुधा मुक्तैरादीपितदिगन्तरम्
महिषासुर सेनानी ही चिक्षुराख्यो महा असुरः युद्धे Yuyudhe. Yuyudhe chamaraha cha anyaischa anyaischturanga balanvitaha. Mahishasura Senani, one of the chiefs of Mahishasura's armies, by name Akhyo Maha Asuraha, by name Chikshura, a great Asura, Yuyudhe Chamaraschanyais Chaturanga Balanvitaha, fought together along with Chamara and other demons that are surrounded by the four aspects of the army. The four, the fourth Chaturanga means there are four limbs for the army. What are the four limbs for army? We know only two, no? What are the four limbs?
Ratha, Gaja, Turang, Padadi.
Ratha,
Gaja,
Yaja,
Turanga.
Turaga,
Turaga, that is horse. And
Turaga.
Padadi.
Huh?
Padadi. Pada, that is those who walk. Just men.
Hmm. So Ratha means chariots.
Uh,
Ratha, Turaga,
Gaja. Ratha, Gaja,
Ratha,
Turanga.
Gaja, Turaga, Padadi. Ratha means chariot, Gaja means elephant, Turaga means horses, and Pada means foot soldiers. Four different limbs of the armies. They are the four units or whatever. Army, Navy is the only thing we know. But in those days, army comprised of all these. Now you can see them very nicely in movies like Bahubali and things like that. Very nicely represented. Hmm? Mahishasura Senani Chikshurakhyo Mahasuraha Yuyudhe Chamaraschanyai Chaturanga Balanvitaha. Chikshu. Now you have to pay attention to the names of all these army chiefs also. Chikshura, Chamara are the two that are invoked in this. Chikshu means Chikshu means the one who has laser focus. Chamara means the one who has the strength of the wind. How strong the wind can blow, he has that much strength. Chikshura means the guy who can see so clearly and with laser focus. Mahishasurasenanish
Mahishasurasenanish. Mahishasurasenanish.
Chikshurakhyo Mahasurakham
Chikshurakhyo Mahasuraha. Chikshurakhyo Mahasuraha.
Yuyudhe Chamaraschanyaish
Yuyudhe Chamaraschanyaish. Yuyudhe Chamaraschanyaish.
Chaturanga Balanvitakham
Chaturanga Balanvitaha.
Mahishasurasenaniश्चिक्षुराख्यो Mahasuraka Yuyudhe Chamarashchanyaiश्चतुरङ्ग Balanvitagam.
Mahishasurasenaniश्चिक्षुराख्यो Mahasuraha. युयुधे चामरश्चान्यैश्चतुरङ्गबलान्वितः महिषासुरसेनानीश्चिक्षुराख्यो महासुरः युयुधे चामरश्चान्यैश्चतुरङ्गबलान्वितः.
I hope all of you are also chanting along with him, no? I have to keep repeating that because you're not just simply listening. This is together. Huh? Swati, make sure Ram is chanting, no?
Yes, I'm chanting.
Okay. How about Swati?
He's chanting.
Okay, good. Keep the neighbor straight first. That is spirituality. Rathanam ayutai shadbhihi udagrakhyo mahasuraha ayudhya ayudhyata ayutanam cha sahasrena mahahanuhu. Then in this next line we are talking about udagrakhya. Udagrakhya had Shadbhi Ayutaha. Shadbhi Ayuta. So after Sahasra, the next number in math, in Vedic math is Ayuta. Ayuta means 10,000. Uh, Ayuta Sahasra, then Ayuta. Shadbhi Ayuta means 60,000. Ratha with chariots. Udagrakhya, another great demon, and Ayudhyatayutanancha. Ayudhyatayuta. Ayudhyatayuta is 10 million, or basically it is innumerable number. Ayudhyatayutanancha sahasrena mahahanuhu. Mahahanu. Mahahanu is another demon. Udagrakhya. Udagra Akhya, the one who has great determination. Udagra. Akhya means name. Udagra is his name. Akhya means who is called. Udagra. Udagra is his name. Ud Agra. Ut Agra, the one who has highest resolve or highly motivated resolve. In corporate world they called passion. Yeah? With incredible passion. The guy who is with incredible passion is called Udagra. Name. Look at all these names also. Huh? Another homework is coming up. Udagra. Then Mahahanu means with a great jaw. Hanu means ja. Hanuma means the one who has a distinguished jaw. Hanuma is not the name of him. Hanuma is a name given to the appearance of him. His name is not Hanuma. We'll get into that some other time. Hanuma, who you know we are talking about. Hanuma, no? Hopefully you know. Don't call him monkey god like all these stupid books write. Hanuma, the monkey god. Ganesha, the elephant god. No, no. This is stupidity. We are so carried away by in these books because you have to reference somebody, you give them reference to their body. If somebody is bald, then you say, you call him bald headed man. There are so many bald headed gods then. That's why they are wearing kirita, helmets. So, Udagra with 60,000 chariots, Mahahanu, with innumerable number of soldiers, has participated in the war. Rathana mayutai shadbhir
रथानामयुतैः षड्भिर् रथानामयुतैः षड्भिर्
udagrakhyo mahasuraha
उदग्राख्यो महासुरः उदग्राख्यो महासुरः
ayudhyatāyutānāñca
अयुध्यतायुतानां च अयुध्यतायुतानां च
sahasrena mahahanuhu.
सहस्रेण महाहनुः no sorry सहस्रेण महाहनुः सहस्रेण महाहनुः.
So just so that you're clear on the math, sahasra ayuta is what he has used, the numbers. Sahasra ayuta. How much, what is the number for ayuta? 10,000. That is 10 to the power of 4 plus sahasra, 10 to the power of 3. So total 10 to the power of 7. 10 to the power of 7 is equivalent to 10 million or 100 lakhs. See, this is the scientific mind. It will never leave any detail. Otherwise, you are lost. We are simply chanting. But what is it that is mentioned? Ayuta Sahasra or Sahasra Ayuta is 10 to the power of 7. 10 to the power of 7 is what this fellow is using. 6 times 10 to the power of 4. Shadbhi Ayuta. Ayuta is 10 to the power of 4. Shadbhi Ayuta is 6 times 10 to the power of 4 is 60,000. Sahasra Ayuta is 10 to the power of 7 with that many chariots. Rathanam. So that is the Rathas that is mentioned. Rathanam Ayutai Shadbhi Rudagrakhyo Mahasuraha. Rathanam Ayutai Shadbhi Rudagrakhyo Mahasuraha. अयुध्यतायुतानां च सहस्रेण महाहनुः.
रथानामयुतैः षड्भिरुदग्राख्यो
No.
yeah,
Shadbhir Udagrakya is incorrect.
correct,
One more
yes.
time. Yes.
रथानामयुतैः षड्भिरुदग्राख्यो महासुरः.
Mahaprana missed on Shadbhi.
रथानामयुतैः षड्भिरुदग्राख्यो.
No. Udagrakya is incorrect. Udagrakya.
Okay, one moment again.
Take yourself together and then pay attention, Sairama. Don't
Yes.
be say Shadbhi. No, there is no need to overemphasize Mahapranas. Huh? Then if you overemphasize Mahaprana, you lose prana.
Same teaching.
Yes, okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll go. रथानामयुतैः षड्भिरुदग्राख्यो महासुरः अयुध्यतायुतानां च सहस्रेण महाहनुः. रथानामयुतैः षड्भिरुदग्राख्यो महासुरः अयुध्यतायुतानां च सहस्रेण महाहनुः.
Then next sloka. Panchashadbhischa niyutaihe asuloma asiloma mahasuraha ayutanam shatai shadbhir bashkalo yuyudhe rane. Asiloma. Asiloma means hair. Asi means sword. Dandam Shaktimasincha. Asi is sword. Asiloma. Loma means hair. Asiloma means a fellow whose hair is equivalent to that of a strength of a sword. Another demon. You see all of them in the society. I'm not kidding. Asiloma also you will see. Udagrakya you have seen. Corporate, passionate, 100% Udagrakyas are there. In Silicon Valley, we see a lot of them. And all these, another guy, Asiloma. Then there is Bashkala. Bashkala. Bashkala means kala means presence or aspect. Bashkala means a huge body, huge body. Fought in this battlefield. Huge, the one who is in perception is so huge. Huge perception. Bashkala. I'm already giving you hints of who these demons are. By this time, homework is almost done. Somebody has to write these down and be present to this. Now, what we are saying, hello, Sairama, when we are all listening to these shlokas and reading the meaning, we are simply watching a movie. You are never connected to it. Now, what we are doing with this Devi Matyam is not simply some great woman with all this armor going and killing some demons, and then it is not related to me. I am happy. It's some woman, the Devas had some problem. They went and told the gods, and the gods gave their effulgence and a bunch of weapons and a number of ornaments and garlands, everything. Then she went to fight, and all these guys, oh my God, Bahubalis are all coming, and all this, beautiful movie imaginary diction created with hundreds of thousands of chariots and all of this stuff. But each one has a name so distinct. पंचाशद्भिश्च नियुतैः असिलोमा महा असुरः with 50 lakhs of chariots. Panchashad, Panchasha Ayuta. Panchasha Bhishcha Ayuta. 50 lakhs. 5 times 10 to the power of 5. 5 times 10 to the power of 4. Panchashad Bhishcha Ayutai. Asiloma Mahasuraha. Then what's the next one? Ayutanam Shataishadbhihi. 60,000 again. Bashkalo Yuyudherane. Panchashadbhischa Niyutair.
Panchashadbhischa niyutair.
Not Shad. It is not Shad. Panchashadbhischa Niyutaih.
Panchashadbhischa niyutair. Panchashadbhischa niyutair.
Asiloma Mahasuraha.
Asilo ma mahasuraha. Asilo ma mahasuraha.
Ayutanam Shataishadbhir.
Ayutanam shataishadbhir. Ayutanam shataishadbhir.
Bashkalo Yuyudherane.
Bashkalo yuyudherane. Bashkalo yuyudherane.
पञ्चाशद्भिश्च नियुतैरसिलोमा महासुरः अयुतानां शतैषड्भिर्बाष्कलो युयुधे रणे
Panchashadbhischa niyutairasilo ma mahasuraha. अयुतानां शतैषड्भिर्बाष्कलो युयुधे रणे पञ्चाशद्भिश्च नियुतैरसिलो महासुरः अयुतानां शतैषड्भिर्बाष्कलो युयुधे रणे.
So, how did I come to the numbers? So I said the numbers. Please remember the numbers. Eka, Dasha, Shata, Sahasra, Ayuta, Niyuta. Panchashadbhischa Niyuta. Niyuta means 10 higher than Panchashat. Panchashat means hello Sairam.
500.
No,
50. 50.
Panchashat,
No, 500.
150. Huh? No, sorry, 500, 500.
500.
Panchashat is 500. Panchashat Niyuta. Panchashat Niyuta means 500 times 10 to the power of 5.
Shashat.
Pancha, Panchashat,
That's 5 crores. 5 crores, right?
Panchashat.
500. 500
250.
times
10 to
500
the,
times 1 lakh is 5 crores.
yeah.
5 crores. Panchashat 50.
50.
Panchashat
50.
is 50.
50. 50.
No, 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 sorry, Amma.
500.
Shat is 100.
500.
Panchashat is 500.
500 times 1 lakh, which
Yeah.
is 5 crores.
Yeah, English then it translate into numbers, not Indian numbers.
Sorry. 500 times
10 to the power
100,000,
of 5, which is
yeah,
5 times 10 to the power of 7.
which is 50 million.
Yeah, there you go. That's what is written in the transliteration here. 50 million, correct. Panchashat. 50 million. And then Ayutanam Shataihi. Ayutanam Shata means Ayutanam Shatai Shadbihi. Okay. Ayutanam Shatai Shadbhi, which is 600 times 10 to the power of 4. 6 million. Got it? All the math is clear now? Hello?
Sairam uncle, does Yuyudhe means fought
Yeah, yeah, right.
and Ayudhyata?
That is also fought.
That's also fighting. Yeah. Ayutanam Shatai Shadbhir Bashkalo Yudherine. Yeah, we already come. Gajavaji Sahasraughairanekai Parivaritaha Vruto Rathanam Kotya cha Yuddhe tasmin Ayudhyata. Now, Parivarita is another Rakshasa, another demon. Parivarita. Parivarita means the one who is completely taking over. Parivarita. The one who completely takes over with thousands of elephants. Gaja, Vaji, Sahasra, Anekaih Aghaih Parivaritaha, with thousands of elephants and horses, along with Vruto Rathanam Koti. Koti is 10 million. 10 million chariots came Parivarita along with thousands of elephants and horses. Gajavaji Sahasraughair.
Gajavaji Sahasraughair. Gajavaji Sahasraughair.
अनेकैः परिवारितः
अनेकैः परिवारितः अनेकैः परिवारितः
वृतो रथानां कोट्या च
वृतो रथानां कोट्या च वृतो रथानां कोट्या च
युद्धे तस्मिन् युध्यत
युद्धे तस्मिन् युध्यत युद्धे तस्मिन् युध्यत
गजवाज play attention to Shruti Sarama गजवाजि सहस्रौघैरनैकैः परिवारितः वृतो रथानां कोट्या च युद्धे तस्मिन् युध्यत
गजबाजि सहस्रौघैरनेकैः परिवारितः वृतो रथानां कोट्या च युद्धे तस्मिन् युध्यत गजबाजि
एकैः परिवारितः
गजबाजि सहस्रौघैरनेकैः परिवारितः वृतो रथानां कोट्या च युद्धे तस्मिन् युध्यत
बिडालाख्यो अयुतानाञ्च पञ्चाषड्भिरतैयुतैः Bidala, another one. Bidala means the one who has a huge eyeball. Means there are some people that are myopic. Myopic vision is Bidala. My God, are all these Rakshasas somewhere else? You see people that are complete compulsive disorder. That is myopic. Whatever they say, the తాను పట్టిన కుందేటికి మూడే కాళ్ళు. They cannot see anything else other than. So therefore, this guy Bidalakhyo, Ayutanancha Panchashad Bhi Radhayutaih. Now you can do the math now. All of you know. Now you have experts now. Ayuta is 10,000. Panchashat, Panchashat, 500. What's the math there?
Sairam Panchashat is only 50 Sairam. Just now I referred the book also.
Panchashat is.
Last time you taught us that Niyuta is trillion, so 50 into trillion.
Niyuta, Ayuta, Niyuta. So Ayuta
Niyuta
first.
Is
This math is correct in the what is written in the transliteration. That is correct math only. So this Panchashat. How did they come to 50 billion is what I am thinking. 50 billion is 10 to the power of 8. 50 times 10 to the power of 8. How did they come to 10 to the power of 8? 50 is Vidalakhyo Ayutanancha Panchashadbhi Radhayutaihe. This is 100 crores is the math here. Is it 100 crores or 50 billion? 5 billion, sorry. Panchashat is 5. It's not 50 billion. It should be 5 billion. So this what the transliteration math is confusing me.
Sairam Panchashat Peter Rupini, we say, no? That 50. Her pitas are 50 plus. So
50. Okay, Panchashat. Okay. If it is 50, then how did we come to 50 billion?
There's Ayuta also. Radhayutaihi.
Oh, Ayuta.
Ayuta.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Ayuta is there.
Yes.
So 50 into 10 power 4.
Yeah.
Panchashad B.
Oh, right. Panchashat bhiratha yutai. Here is another Ayuta. Another Ayuta and another Ayuta. 10 to the power of 4, 10 to the power of 4 is 10 to the power of 8 and 50, that is 5 billion. Okay. 5 billion is the right math here. You got it? Thanks, Prabhakara. You all got it, Sairam?
Karan, it's 500 times 10 to the
No,
4.
no. Here, Sairam. What it is actually 5 billion. Let's go to this, right?
Uh-huh.
Here is Pancha Shat is 50. Ayuta 50 times 10 to the power of 4
Okay.
times.
No, Shat and 100.
Yeah,
Sorry.
500.
Pancha Shat
100. 500. That is 500.
500 times 10 to the power of 4
Which is 5 times 10 to the 6.
and then another 3, which is a billion. So 5
Correct.
billion.
Yeah.
5
So 5
billion.
times 10 to the 9, which
Yeah.
is 50 billion. Correct.
Yes.
50 billion.
What they
Uma,
have is correct.
yeah. So Panchashat is has to be 500 only.
500.
Yeah.
It's 50 times 10 to the 9. Ayuta is 10 to the power 4, right?
Yes.
So there are two 10 to the power 4. So
No, no.
it's
What?
5,
Correct, Amma. 2 10 to the power of 4 is 10 to the power of 8.
right, plus 500. So 5 times 10 to the 10 or 50 times 10 to the 9.
Yeah, that is 50 billion. That's correct.
Right, it's 50 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, 50 billion.
Yep.
Okay.
50 billion is
50 billion is correct. Okay. 10 to the power of 4, 10 to the power of 4, and 5 to the 2 is what you guys. Yeah, 50 times 10 to the power of 9. 50 billion. Yes. Umaji, it is 500. It's not 50. Math won't work out.
no, Sairam, it is only 50. I'm 100% sure because I have the book with me. I'm teaching. It's 50 only.
No, but Panchashat is 500 anyway. Even if you leave out Ayuta, everything is a
No, but
500.
she's saying Panchashat is 50. That's what she's saying.
No, Shat is Shatam is
No.
100, right? Panchashat
Vimshati,
is 300.
Trimshat.
Maybe there was a typo in the book.
According
No.
to the dictionary, is 50.
Yeah.
50.
According to dictionary, it's 50.
Panchashat is 50.
I'm awfully sorry. Can anyone tell me why are these incredible numbers? What is the reason for 50 millions or millions or whatever? Is it the energy behind it or what? I mean, I'm an army officer. I know a little bit about that, but what does that mean?
Yes, what does that mean? Yes, let's take that up as the next. Okay, I'll have to go back and look at these numbers again, but let's finish the. Um, yeah, so there is. I'll look at this. We'll come back to it. Panchashat. Yeah, Panchashat seems to be 50. Panchashat. I don't understand that. Okay, we'll go back to that. Let's finish. Bidalakhyo yutanancha.
बिडालाख्यो युतानाञ्च बिडालाख्यो युतानाञ्च
युयुधे पञ्चाशद्भिरथायुतैः
पञ्चाशद्भिरतायुतैः पञ्चाशड् sorry पञ्चाशद्भिरथायुतैः
युयुधे संयुगे तत्र
युयुधे संयुगे तत्र युयुधे संयुगे तत्र
रथानां परिवारितः
रथानां परिवारितः रथानां परिवारितः
बिडालाख्यो युतानां च पञ्चाशद्भिरथायुतैः युयुधे संयुगे तत्र रथानां परिवारितः
बिडालाख्यो युतानां च पञ्चाशद्भिरथायुतैः युयुधे संयुगे तत्र रथानां परिवारितः
श्रुति
बिडालाख्यो युतानां च पञ्चाशद्भिरथायुतैः युयुधे संयुगे तत्र रथानां परिवारितः.
So basically the first math either has to be 5 billion or 50 billion. So here it is written 50 billion and elsewhere it is written 5 billion. So we are different by one number. So Panchashadbhi interpretation is what is the difference. Is it 5? Is it 50 or 500? If it is 500, then it is 50 billion. If it is only 50, then it is 5 billion. And all these surrounded by all these chariots, Bidala came to the war. That came to the war to fight, or they're fighting already. I don't know. What's next slokam. Now, Anyecha tatrayutasho ratha naga hayair vrutah. All the others were also surrounded by myriads of tatrayutasho. Ratha means chariots. Naga is not serpent. Sorry, that is a mistranslation. Naga is elephant and a horse is haya. Okay, so if you have this English translation, you are following this, make these corrections. I'm not making those corrections. So, Naga is not a serpent. Serpents don't come to the war. Naga here is the Gaja. Now, all the great asuras that came together, Yuyudhus Sanyuge, Devya Sahatatra Mahasurah, Anye cha tatra yutasho.
अन्ये च तत्रायुतशो अन्ये च तत्रायुतशो
Rathanagahayirvritaha.
रथनागहयैर्वृताः रथनागहयैर्वृताः
Yuyudhus Sanyuge Devya
युयुधुः संयुगे देव्या युयुधुः संयुगे देव्या
Sahatatra Mahasuraha.
सह तत्र महासुराः सह तत्र महासुराः.
So, homework for next week. I want you all to write down each of the name of the demon and what I explained as the meaning of that demon, and then the strength as given by the demon, the strength represented by that demon. Is the homework clear? Yes. And you don't need to send this to me by email. you should go to the DM folder. Now I will know how many actually visit this folder. So here is the folder. There is a folder. If you go to the DM files folder, under the DM files where you have all the chapters and everything, there is a folder called homework submission. And in this homework submission, I'm creating a new folder called Asura Strength. Just create a table. You don't need to write a whole bunch. Just create a table. And the table, I want to see how many of us actually understood. Then, so there is this Asura Strength folder. And I would actually create another one, Devi form and weapons is another folder that I'm creating. Devi forms and weapons can move into that folder. Okay. Asura Strength is the folder in which you can post your homework. If you um, want, if you don't, if you, there may be some people here. If there are anybody on this call that is not subscribed to the Veda study group, just raise your hand on Zoom, okay? Because if you're not getting emails also, there should be there should be some problem with your setting. You have to go add Veda study at Google Groups to your contacts so that the emails from the Veda study won't go into your spam folder or junk folder. Sometimes when I attach something, it thinks it is spam or junk and it will throw into the spam or junk folder. So please add Veda study at Google Groups to googlegroups.com to your contacts, and that way you won't miss it. Okay, this is the question I don't want to answer. It's time for you all to start reflecting and do the real study, and that is homework. Good. Is the homework clear? Okay. And I will, for those of you who don't have access to that folder, I just copied it and pasted it onto the chat so you can recopy it and keep it at a secure place. Okay, let's see here. Okay, okay, this class looks like a lot of people are doing their math, so there were no questions. The only question we have to contemplate on is, what does this mean? That's the question. Why do we care about all these numbers? What is the point of all of this? That's the reason why that homework will help all of us. Let me say the Kshama Prarthana, and then we'll go into another important announcement. Today afternoon at 2 o'clock California time or Pacific Standard Time, we will start the Mahanyasam. And I know many people um, may have conflicts with center times or whatever, but if you are missing the Zoom session and you are learning Mahanyasam, first and foremost, all the people in Sacramento, unless they are very old people or they have some emergency commitment at home or whatever, there is no excuse not to come in person. All Sacramento people. I will tell you guys to get off the Zoom and you can watch later if you wish. But you have to learn the nyasa in the physical presence of a teacher. That is how nyasa. That's why when I did the Ekadasya nyasa for Devi Matyam, we did it in person in the presence of Bhagwan, because this is not this body that is teaching. So that is another important reason why I also do Diksha and request people to come to the center to take the Diksha, not just to do it on a Zoom. Life becomes virtual only. Spirituality is not a virtual phenomenon. Spirituality is complete presence. And the other thing I want to say is, yes, the file for those of you, of course, who are not physically to be there and joining on Zoom, please make sure that you are able to follow through. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on Nyasa if there is anything that's not clear. On because we won't have time for questions and answers at the Mahanyasam teaching, so it cannot be done a session like this. Okay. Okay. So Babita, you heard me right? You have to be present in person, not virtual. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, Satish Radhakrishna. All the guys, Sacramento. No excuse. In the old days when you didn't have the Veda class in Zoom, what did you all do? Huh? So that's what it should be. Okay, Sairam. Unable to submit homework, uncle. Why?
The folder permissions are not open to add files. We don't have edit permissions to the folder.
Edit permission. Okay. Homework permission. What do I need to say? Get link. Uh, get link. View. Oh, why no, you can. Oh, you can't. Oh,
I used the
edited.
link you sent in the chat. Even then, it's
Okay. Okay. Now this folder, I'm resending it to those on the call. This should actually give you all permission to upload a file. Is that what you're saying, Ma? You're not getting permission to upload a file?
yeah. Edit permission. It's saying we don't have edit permission.
Okay, now you can touch it. Oh, you want to just get done with the homework right after the class, huh?
I'm already done. I just wanted to submit.
That means you haven't really thought through. Sorry, this is
I just took note. Just the notes part I've done. That's all.
no. The notes part. Okay, here is the other thing I'm saying. This is not like going to your, class like what you do in your, internet class or whatever. This is spiritual. That means you have to contemplate on this.
Yeah.
Not just literal. This is spiritual, inner. Okay, but thanks for letting me know you don't have permission. Now you have permission to
Yeah,
actually introspect, meditate on read. Okay, Sairam, please follow through this with me carefully. What I am requesting you to do is not just take notes of what I said. You read the sloka. Do you understand the sloka yourself? When you read the sloka, chant the slokas that we went through, chant them. And when you chant them, two, three times, sit down, and then the names should be popping up themselves. Do you know the names by heart by this time of the Rakshasas? No, Pavani, do you know the names? No, don't look at the notes. Do you know the names? Can you connect to the names?
Yeah.
That is the homework I'm asking you to do. This is not like the homework on you took some notes and then you spit it out like you do in your exams. That's our worldly exams. Huh? This is a spiritual homework. It is not a worldly homework. ముక్కు మీద పెట్టి ఉమ్మేయటమే దాన్ని చీదేయటమే అది దట్ ఈస్ వరల్డ్లీ ఎగ్జామ్స్ you put it at the tip of the nose and then you sneeze it off and it never is retained. This is dhyana. This is contemplation. This is sravana, manana, Nididhyasa. That is spiritual homework. Sravana, you listened now. Manana, you read, and then if you close your eyes, you should be able to play this. Chikshu, all these names, Chikshura, Chamara, Udagra, Bidala, like that. You have to connect to them. Then open your eyes and write down what you actually went through. Contemplation. Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Jai Sai Ram. Okay. Okay. Now you have permission to upload the file. Okay. Very good. Very good. Oh, you do? Now because I changed the link. That's why you have the permission. Thanks to Pavani for that. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I'm posting the link again, so you all have the updated link. You should be able to upload. Yes. No questions? The only question is, what does this all mean? Okay. Am I bothering you all?
Not
Of
at
course
all.
not.
Okay.
No.
Thanks a lot.
I don't know. I kind of feel that Sacramento people feel that they're under tremendous pressure.
No.
You should be fortunate to be in Sacramento.
Saram agreed, yeah.
We are blissful, but you should ask our families
Who should ask your families? Me.
about the pressure. They'll describe it better.
Oh, no, no, but why should I ask your family? That's your
I'm
problem.
just saying that's my problem.
I only ask we only ask the student, right? So this is not, seriously, brothers and sisters. Nowadays, I see that lot of people that talk about Sanatana Dharma, the values of the Vedas, the scriptures. This is the mission on which Bhagavan has put us all through as the greatest teacher and master of all the times, where Bhagavan did not actually focus in the context of orthodox ritualistic Hinduism. That's not at all Bhagavan's focus. His focus is really to how to use the scriptures to transform ourselves. And in the context of the transformation of ourselves, if we only look at these Vedas and Shastras as related to some dogmas associated with Hinduism, we lost the point. There are so many people that talk about Agastya invented this, Vishwamitra invented that. So all what scientists are discovering now are already described in our Vedas. So therefore, what is great about these scientists? What is great about Newton? What is great? I said, you guys are all stupid. Because Agastya discovered something means nothing for you. Because something was described, but what Newton discovered when it relates to batteries or whatever was practiced by millions of scientists across the world and replicated it, and they are also able to practice what Newton taught and create another battery. When you are able to recreate what Agastya did, what Vishwamitra did, and practice it and then execute it and show it, then you are talking about real Vedas. Otherwise, it is simply a talk, it is simply a concept, it is not practicing what is taught in Vedas. Is that clear? So that's why this group is called Veda study. It's not called Veda learning. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that we are all turned into Agastyas and all that kind of stuff. No, we're not trying to become an Agastya. But what we are trying to do is to be what these to be aware of this, not simply understand, not simply know these mantras, not simply chant these mantras perfectly. There are zillions of people that are more perfect in chanting than I can actually chant. Greatness to them. But that's not the purpose of this Veda study. The purpose of this Veda study is not only to be able to chant it correctly and with proper pronunciation, etc., but to actually delve into it and to study in it about it. And it's a collective study. By no means I am a teacher or I am preaching here. I am also one of all of us, and therefore together we look at all these things. Together we become aware. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryankaravavahe. Tejasvinavadhitamastu vidvishavahai. Okay, that is the thing about it. And then we will reconnect at 2 o'clock, unless there are any super duper burning question. And Sham? Oh, Sham says a lot to contemplate. Okay, okay, Sairam.
Sairam brother. So I wanted to know these four type of army, how it is related. Like normally we say chariot is the body, so elephant is what? Intelligent horse and those
I
four
don't give
things.
answers. It is
Oh,
for you to figure out who is the elephant in your body. Or what is the elephant in your body, or the elephant in the room. It is present but not seen. Huh? It's an elephant in the room. Okay, so please, again, as I'm saying, if I simply say what it is, you have not connected to it.
okay.
And I'll tell you this. You know the story of the blind feeling the elephant, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now that you asked, what is the elephant? What is the elephant? How many blind people? 60 blind people remaining on this call. Each one can describe the elephant in his or her own way. And when we put that all together, we perhaps may come close to feeling the elephant together. But
Okay.
what I described to you won't mean anything until you feel it. Because I may be touching the tail and you may be touching the ear. Sairam, yes. Good try though for me to do your homework.
So, sorry, I thought the homework was only for the demo and for those things,
No,
but so
no, no, no. There is who came with all the four armies?
the Mahisasura.
No, no, no. This is why I'm saying you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. Attention to the detail. In the very first shloka, it says,
Amen.
Chikshura, along with the Chamara, came with the four units of the army. Now you see, I'm not chanting the shloka. The shloka is already embedded. The shloka is already embedded. This is what is called nididhyasa. Now you are actually paying attention to it that you don't need the shloka anymore. The shloka is a means to connect to that. The moment you connect to what the shloka is, what you say, you drop the shloka and then you catch to the awareness in the shloka. Unless that happens, it simply becomes a chanting exercise. And please, for the sake of our own transformation, do that even with Sri Rudram. You chant Sri Rudram without chanting the mantra, the entire Rudram. If you are able to do that, then Rudram will be chanting you. How much of can you chant Sri Rudram in English without using the mantras? Then you have actually done nididhyasa. That means you have now taken your intellect in awareness towards that mantra. And so now, so who came with the four units? It is Chikshura along with the Chamara came to the battle with all the 4 units of the army. That is the Shloka, not Mahishasura. Okay, Manisha, you've become the spotlight, but it is not about you we are talking about, right? So we are talking about all of ourselves, yeah. Okay, now that would require how much of attention and focus to listen to this now? People that are now listening to this the second time, hmm, listening to the second time now, they should be even more closer to this, listening there, Yeah, Sairam, thank you, Ma. Any other questions? Yeah, thank
Uh,
you, Ima Chapu.
Yeah, I have a question. Just going back to chapter 1, actually, in that one of the mantra, it says, Brahma says, Twameva Sandhya Savitri. So in that Sandhya, you explained that it's, of course, is the transition point as when we do Sandhya Vandanam, Pratama, Madhya, and the Saim, right? So that the transition point, I was just trying to connect that with another thing which you explained in another context about Swami explaining about that basketball. Some students were said that there's a lot of noise, but Swami observed only the transition between the first tap and the next tap. So I was just trying to connect that with the breath as well. So there is one before a breath goes in, and before it comes out, there's a transition point. In that way, if we pay attention to that, we'll be able to understand more about the Sandhya as the Devi herself. Is that all? Is it a? I mean, I'm trying to connect that way and understand that Sandhya. So, is my thought process in line with the connection?
Sandhi is where two things join together. That place is called Sandhi, literal meaning of it, Sandhi. So where two points try to meet is what is called Sandhi, or co-joining or conjoining of two things. That conjoining point is the Sandhi. That's why in Sanskritam grammar there are different types of sandhis. Suvarna Dirgha Sandhi, this Sandhi, that Sandhi. So what are those Sandhis doing? They're joining two points. That joining point, or when two nerves are coming together, the synapse between the end of the two nerve points is a Sandhi. Look at what is happening neurologically is in the synapse is where the communication is actually happening physically in your nervous system. Between the two end points of the nerves is where the synapse, that's where the whole action is, in that, not in the nerve but in the synapse of the two nerves. Now I'm not trying to justify what you observed or trying to give it a different color. So if you simply put it like that, then between dawn and dusk there is this conjoining point. Yeah, there are three conjoining points during the time of 24 hours. Yes, when darkness to light, and in the middle of the day, and at the end of the day. So that
Yes.
is between 4 to 8, right?
Yes.
4 to 8, and then 4 to 8 in the evening, and then you can see how the distribution of the conjoining points is occurring. At those points, when you focus on it, you are in the presence of the space where the thought doesn't exist, and that is the time, is the best way to be present. Swami says very beautifully, another quote of Swami: having good thoughts, having bad thoughts is ignoble, having good thoughts is noble, thoughtlessness is peace. Not mindlessness, thoughtlessness. So that is at that point of time when you're doing this Gayatri Japam, etc., or any Japam for that matter, your probability of connecting to that complete presence and awareness raises significantly. That's the reason why there are prescribed times of the day where they are looking at all these aspects of it, and they're calling it as a tithi, they're calling it as a muhurtam, they're calling it as a yogam, they're calling it as all these things are based on that supreme Vedic knowledge. But what's the point of choosing a muhurtam when you are not present there? Arey yaar, what's the point of a muhurtam on a auspicious wedding of a divine couple when the focus should be amongst themselves to connect rather than connect to the video guy? What is the muhurtam then? This is the stupidity and ignorance that the humanity has come to because they don't have awareness and understanding of it. They all go with this as bunch of sheep following tradition but not understanding what this actually means and what is its spiritual implication. Yes, is that good answer for you? I'm going in a different direction now.
No, I was trying to connect with what Swami said about that basketball.
Yes, sir.
Analogy.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what Swami said, okay. So now coming back to the same concept in the example, what we're talking about is in that basketball court when Swami asked, do you listen when the ball is hitting on the ground? The basketball, it's making this noise, top, 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 like that, right? So Swami looked at the boy and said, oh, this is too much noise, no? And then the boy said, yes, Swami, it is too much noise. Then he said, you listen to the noise, I listen to the silence in the noise. You listen to the noise, I listen to the silence between the two sounds of the ball. Now, just to focus on what he's talking about. What is he talking there? The synapse between two sounds is where he is focusing on, and that is silence, and that is where the presence should be. But our presence is on the noise. We are never focused on the silence. If you do this exercise of listening to the silence between two sounds, you will be able to connect to the space between two thoughts. I am not thinking is also a thought. Yes, very profound question, Sairama. You are asking a very profound question. And when that space expands, and that is peace, then what happens otherwise, sir? How do I do my work? Now, all these questions will come. If I'm in that space of thought, how do I do my work? How do I take care of my family? How do I drive a car? How do I, yeah, all these questions come now. What we are saying is you can do all those things, but still the mind can be in the space. How many people are thinking while they're driving? Tell me. Thinking about driving while they're driving. Are you thinking about driving while you're driving? Are you? Yes, hello. Anybody who is thinking
Yeah,
while they're
I've
driving?
tried that. Yeah, I've tried
Ah,
that. Just to be on the focus of driving, it
ah.
kind of brings immediate stillness. Just to be focusing on the act of driving.
Yeah, so then there is no thinking.
Yeah. Because you are present to the moment.
Yeah, how many of us are thinking that we are breathing? Do you have a thought? Now I have to breathe. Are you thinking while you're breathing? Are you thinking while you are breathing? No. So breathing is happening without thought. Driving is happening without thought. So many things are happening without thought. So therefore, yeah, Babita, everything is okay. Okay. All right. So therefore, when we look at what a thought is, a thought becomes more or less like an instrument. I need to use the thought. This is a very, very powerful exercise. I need to use the thought. And once I am done with the thought, I don't need to think. I need to use the vacuum cleaner. Therefore, you take the vacuum cleaner, use it. And after using the vacuum cleaner, you don't carry the vacuum cleaner on your head. You put it in a closet. Are you saying, I need a vacuum cleaner all the time? No, you don't need a vacuum. You need a vacuum cleaner when you have to remove the dirt. So I need to think. That's why we say, I need to think about it. That means what? Otherwise, I don't think. I need to think about it. Don't we use that in language? When somebody asks you something, what do you say? I need to think about. I need to think about. That means I have to put an effort to think about it. Therefore, I am not the thought. I don't need to think otherwise. But what are we doing 99% of the time? We are thinking all the time. And 99.99% of the thought energy is wasted. That means so much of energy is wasted in simply thinking. And you have no idea why you are even thinking about it. It has no relevance whatsoever. Not only about yourself, you think more about others. That person has this problem. How can I solve their problem? Solve your own bloody problem, no, which is thinking. You don't need to think about other people's problems and advise them and become a spiritual counselor or anything like that. There is nothing. This is what that even that thinking, I have to help someone, is a good thought. But the question is, who is that I that has to help, is even more powerful thought. Okay, somebody said, I am meditating to Bhagavan Ramana. And then Bhagavan Ramana asked, when you actually figure out who is meditating, you are actually meditating. Otherwise, you are not. Hmm, I am meditating. The problem is no. I am is meditation. I am meditating is an irrelevant statement. I am is meditation. Therefore, there is nothing called I am meditating. You understand what I am saying? Are we all together on this? Yes? Are we all looking at this together, Shama? Yes. Okay. Very good. Excellent.
Sairam, Anna, to going back to the point about you saying, how do you keep a focus on the stillness while doing your day-to-day work? One analogy which has helped me understand is watching this movie and the screen together. Is that the kind of thing you
No,
are mentioning, Anna?
I'm just listening carefully to your statement. How do I focus on stillness? Huh? What is that statement correct, first of all?
No, I am stillness, so I can't focus on stillness. So, so
I,
the
I am
no,
focusing
thanks.
on so the awareness of what the words that we use in itself will give you this immediate ability to become still. So the moment you say, how do I focus on stillness, you lost the point, because you are stillness. This I that you're talking about is, who is that I that is focusing on stillness? The I am is stillness. Therefore, there is nothing called So what do you need to focus on? When you are not still, you have to focus on unstillness. You have to focus on how do I become not wavery. That is being I am. Yes. So the best way to focus on that stillness is again what Chandrasekhar brought up to begin with. To focus on the synapse, on the space between two breaths. The immediate effective way to make the mind still, so it's not the I am that we are talking about as the stillness, it's not the I, it's the mind. How can the mind be still? That's the question. Yes, Sairama, Shakti,
Sairam,
Rajasekhar.
Sairam,
Yeah. So
Sairam.
I'm rephrasing your question. The question is not about the I, the question is about the mind. How can the mind be still? That's the question. Not how can I focus on stillness.
Yeah.
So when you actually ask the question correctly, the answer falls right through. How can the mind be still?
So we don't need to be focusing on stillness. Watch the wariness of the mind. Automatically, it falls back into stillness. Right. That's what you're highlighting right now.
So watch the mind, it becomes still. Now, so how do I watch the mind? Next question is, how do I watch the mind? This is very beautiful, powerful exercise we are going through, and I'm not. This is not relevant to Devi Matyam, but it is. But then, how it is relevant, we'll talk about it next week. What we are talking about is how does so. So there are only two things that are moving in you, and those two movements are totally related to each other. Huh? What is
Breath
the
and the mind.
breath and the
Breath
mind?
and the
So
mind.
even more simpler, breath and the thought. Breath and the thought are always moving. So if you keep one still, the other automatically becomes still. So how do I keep my breath still? By focusing on it. What do I focus on? I focus on the time between the two, in the two of which being inhalation and exhalation. The gap between the synapse between inhalation and exhalation is where stillness is. As that gap prolongs between inhalation and exhalation, your thoughtlessness and stillness also is proportional to the time between the inhalation and exhalation. Am I losing all of you? Am I talking to myself so far?
So is that the awareness Brahma is praising?
Is that the now this is soham exercise. So aham, so hum. This is the breathing in and breathing out. Bhagavan has focused all of us onto very beautiful example of that. How do I keep the mind still? Even more fundamental. How do I get stillness of thought? By practical example is focusing on the breath. More importantly, the moment the thought focuses on the breath, automatically you will observe that it becomes still. Automatically the thought becomes still. Shakti,
Sairam Sakar garu, the stillness of the mind.
I don't talk to black boxes. Okay,
Sairam.
Sairam.
Sairam. Stillness of the mind is, Swami once described so many times. Stillness of the mind is associated with the one point concentration rate. Only concentrate on the only one point, the divine, that I am the Brahman. Continuously contemplating that Aham Brahmasmi, then the mind will only focus on that, regardless of where you are thinking or not. So, is it related, the stillness of the mind and the thoughtlessness, on that frame of reference?
Yes, ma, what we are talking is the same. It is not actually aham brahmasmi, but what Bhagavan talked about is soham.
Who
When
am I? Yeah.
soham, not who am I? Soham, I am that.
Okay.
Soham is Aham Brahmasmi, same thing. Sivoham, Soham.
Okay.
And in this Soham, what is present in Soham?
Hum.
No, not hum.
So,
Hum ante
so
manavanta lemu. What is present in sa aham becomes soham.
hum. Yeah.
Saha aham becomes soham. Now this soham, if you remove the sa and if you remove the aha, then what remains?
Om.
Om.
Mom?
Om, not mum. Om. If you take the S and if you take the H out, what remains is Om. So ultimately, Om is the ultimate sound or silence. Both. Yes, Sairam. And when learning a new task or duty, focus is involuntarily created within me. When I think I know it, focus is wandering. Yes. Okay. That's good comment. Yes. Sairam, thank you all. I think we took a lot more time than needed. Appreciate all your time. Thank you for the satsang. Jai Sairam. ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेण मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की